Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. The transfer window has been open for over a month, and in today's video, we shall be reacting to around the 16 best transfers so far, and I'm gonna give my rating, how I think they will suit the team, if they're a good signing, if I can see them flop, and then at the end of the video, we'll make a complete tier list out of the new signings. Let's do this. So, first players to look at is Luis Enrique going from Marseille to Inter Milan, and look, I hate Marseille, but looking from Marseille's perspective, Luis Enrique was one of their best players last season alongside Rabiot. He was probably even better than Greenwood, also extremely versatile, being able to play as a fullback, and that's the exact reason Inter Milan signed him. He's really great as a fullback in a 5 at the back, gives you the defensive work and the offensive work, obviously. I think he had at least 20 GA, 17 GA in Liga in the season. So I think this is just another great signing by Inter Milan. You know, Inter Milan, they don't have that much money, but they always make sure to make smart signings. I think something Moroto, he's like their sporting director or something. He's making great signings, and I mean, he's left Marseille now, so shout out to him leaving Marseille. But I think this is a great signing fullback-wise. Got Dumfries on one side and him as the left wing back. I think DiMarco should be leaving Inter Milan, and Agosto should be kept as the backup. But this is a great signing. 23 million as well is a steal when you look in today's transfer market. Going into next one is Juan Garcia from Espanyol to FC Barcelona. Two teams from Catalonia going from one rival to another for 25 million euros. And for a goalkeeper, that's a great price. That's a great price for a goalkeeper. He had an exceptional season with Espanyol, managing to keep them in La Liga. And obviously, there was heavy interest from many different clubs, but it was clear for Juan Garcia, he only wanted to join FC Barcelona. And I think this is a signing that was needed maybe 3-4 seasons ago. Like, Ter Stegen has been holding Barca back, especially in the big Champions League games. I don't care about La Liga. Nobody cares about La Liga. You know, you can have a mid-keeper and win La Liga. But when it comes to the Champions League, as we saw with PSG this season, as we saw when City won it, your goalkeeper has to be on top of his game. Courtois, Alisson, you know, all of these UCL winning sides. Or like Eduardo Mendy. Yes, he's not a top keeper, but in that season, he was a top keeper. And I think that's been one huge missing thing for FC Barcelona. Juan Garcia, he's obviously had one wonderful season in La Liga. He played for Espanyol, where he faced a lot of shots, he made a lot of saves and so on. So I still have to see more from him at FC Barcelona, what he can do in the bigger matches, what he can do in the Champions League. Can he save them? If Barca are having bad momentum, can he save them? Save after save after save, like we saw, for example, Donnarumma do last year. We'll have to wait and see. But I think this is a very good signing. Spanish as well, you know, Catalonia PR, you could say. And I see Juan Garcia, I mean, after 6 months, he's basically going to take the #1 starting spot in the Spanish national team as well. So I think this is a very great signing from FC Barcelona. Moving on to Franco Masanto. And this obviously is a bit personal. He could have gone to Paris Saint-Germain. We were heavily interested in him, but he joined Madrid instead. And look, when it comes to some of these prices, all of these prices, as you can see down below, are from Transfermarkt. But some of them do not include bonuses, which puts in a lot of context. I think it was around 55 to 60 million euros, this deal, actually, because, what was it, like 10%, 10 million in tax money or something, so that every player would get a good amount. But once again, Franco Masanto, yes, he's raw, yes, he's very young, but incredible talent. There's a reason Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid were after him. It's a reason Madrid and PSG have been monitoring his situation for over a year now at the River Plate. Obviously, when you look at the price, it's a bit like, oh, he's a bit too raw and so on. But you got to do this with the extreme talents. These South American clubs, they know the value of these players. They know the value they have in the European market. And, I mean, this is what they basically signed Vinicius, Rodrigo, Reijnders for as well. So yeah, I think this is a good signing for Real Madrid. They obviously are lacking an actual raw winger, having played Rodrigo out of position, sometimes playing Güler there, sometimes playing Brahim Diaz. So I think Franco, it would take him a little bit of time. We saw that with Enrique last season, but I mean, he's only 17, so there's a lot of time for him to prove himself at Madrid. But good signing once again from Madrid. Jonathan Todd Jones, Bayern München for free. And I do remember, before being linked to Bayern, he was linked to Barca. And both of these clubs, I do not understand why they want Jonathan Todd. This dude cannot defend in space. Bayern München apply a really high line. FC Barcelona play a terrorist high line. And you want this dude? So I don't know. You know, last season when I watched Bayern, when teams were like cooking them or doing stuff against them defensively, it was because like Kim Min-jae cannot defend in space. He's a Serie A defender. And when I look at Jonathan Tah, there was one clip from like an Atletico Madrid by Leverkusen game. This guy looked so cooked. He could not recover. I think Julian Alvarez. Yes, Julian Alvarez is quicker, but you gotta have center backs that can defend in depth. There's a reason Upamecano is so much better than any other Bayern München center back. Why? Because of his athleticism, because he can defend in space. But they got him for a free. He could be a good squad rotation. I would have, let's go buying Tukta. I would have taken him, but he should not be a starter. It should be Upamecano, and then you sign another one. I don't know, go for Konate, go for anyone, and then Jonathan Tah is your third center back. But apart from that, for free, weakening Leverkusen as well. Good signing. Moving on to Leroy Sane. From one Bayern arrival to one Bayern departure, and we have Leroy Sane going to Galatasaray. And Leroy Sane, when you look at his career, very good career. Very good career. Could have obviously been better, but injuries and I would say weak mentality towards the end of his Bayern stint. He was complete unconfident. We saw in the Club World Cup missing 1v1 versus after 1v1 after 1v1. And I think this is a very good move for him going to a Galatasaray, a cultured club. They're obviously going to be playing in the Champions League this season. So it's going to be interesting if he can raise his level, if he will feel more confident for the Turkish club than he was at Bayern München, because there was so much pressure at Bayern and Sané just couldn't handle it. So genuinely for his sake, I hope the best for him at Galatasaray. And this is a good pickup for Galatasaray. You know, Galatasaray, they've always been roaming the departures from big clubs, Schneider and Drogba back in the day. And now Leroy Sané, they have Osimhen. I don't know if they're going to get him again from Napoli, but Galatasaray could be, a cheeky team to look out for in the Champions League. But good signing here from Leroy Sané to Galatasaray. The only thing is, I don't know exactly about his wages. His wages could be crazy because his wages were crazy at Bayern. I don't know if Galatasaray can pay that kind of wages, but let's see. Next up is Ait Nouri. I'm Algerian. He's Algerian. Superb player. And 37 million is actually a very good deal. It's actually a very good deal. I don't watch that much Wolves. I mostly watch Ait Nouri with the Algerian national team, and he's a baller. He's a baller. He's basically like a midfielder put as a left back. Before he wasn't the best at defending from his time at Angers in Ligue 1, but he's improved that immensely where he's actually a good defender now and so good with the ball and so good offensively. We've only seen him in glimpses with City at the Club World Cup. It's already looking like a very good signing. And once again, this is something that City have had to do for a very long time. Basically, ever since they signed Benjamin Mendy and he failed a bit, they've just been putting anyone there. They've had Nathan Ake as a left back. I remember like not Joe Gomez, like some Spanish blonde-haired dude they had as a left back. They've had, obviously, Fabian Delph. I don't know why they kept doing this thing. Zinchenko as well. Ait Nouri, finally, a great left-back signing for Manchester City. Very good signing at 37 million. Isn't that much either. Dilap to Chelsea. I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, I don't watch Ipswich, and I can't watch him another place, so I don't really know how good Dilap is. 35 million to Chelsea. I mean, it's less about Dilap, it's more about Chelsea. I have no clue what Chelsea are doing. Because instead of buying a player for like 80 million, Chelsea buy two players for 40 million. And then those two compete, which worsens their confidence, and then nobody breaks through. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. They signed Dilap, then they signed, I think, João Pedro as well. Like, I don't know. But 35 million isn't that much. He could be a very good striker. He's still very young, so I guess a good signing for Chelsea here. Ryan Cherki, man. I said Franco hurts a bit. This one hurts a lot. I imagine myself seeing Cherki in a Paris Saint-Germain jersey, but unfortunately, it's in a Manchester City jersey. And for 37 million, like people still do not understand how big of a steal this is. Yes, I'm a Ligue 1 supporter, so I've seen more of Cherki and so on, but it's not even I've seen more of Cherki. If you just watch one game, or like the assist he had in that El Hilal game, or how he changed the game in that Nations League semi-final. Cherki is so good. He's so good. Like, eventually the City team will be built around him, whether Pep likes it or not, because that's how good Cherki is. For 37 million. Wow. Astonishing signing. With De Bruyne leaving, they need a playmaker. And Cherki, I mean, he's... What a signing, man. Kerkez from Bournemouth to Liverpool, 47 million, 10 million more expensive than Ait Nouri. And I believe You know, from the Premier League watchers, Cherki was the best left back in the Premier League last season, and Ait Nouri was second in behind her. They're like competing for first spot. And this is once again a good signing. And I've wanted to make a video about the Liverpool project under Arne Slot going into this season, because Arne Slot was always saying great stuff about Paris Saint-Germain, and now he's basically copying Paris Saint-Germain. He saw that he needed two fullbacks. He got Cherki, and we talked some other players he got. And I think Cherki will have a very good role for Liverpool. I remember when we faced Liverpool, Robertson, he wasn't that bad. Like, he wasn't that bad. He was just so irrelevant. You know, back in the day, you remember his pressing, you remember his crossing, his defending, you remember that stuff. I don't remember a single thing from Robertson in those two legs. So this was a heavily needed signing from Liverpool. And 47 million, once again, is a very good price for Cherki right here. Next up, going from one left back to another full back, it's Frimpong. And once again, as I said, copying the Paris Saint-Germain style, because Paris Saint-Germain, those fullbacks are so crucial for the system. I think they got like 14 GA in the Champions League this season. Absolutely insane. And you have Frimpong and you have Cherki. Could already be the second best, maybe third best after Barca's of Balde and Cunha. But yeah, obviously Trent went away for free. They got Frimpong, 40 million, not that big of a price. Both of them obviously excel more offensively than defensively. The thing with Frimpong is in the Leverkusen system, he basically played as a winger, a bit similar to Ashraf Hakimi. So even Hakimi defends way more than Frimpong. So we never had to defend. So I think that's something that's going to be interesting, seeing Frimpong in a 4 at the back. For example, with the Netherlands national team, they always play Dumfries as the right back. And if Frimpong is going to play, they start him as the right winger. So it's going to be interesting how him and Salah, the synergy they have on the right side. Another good signing. Reijnders from AC Milan to Manchester City. I've always known good stuff about Reijnders, but when I watched that Real Madrid AC Milan group stage game, I mean, Reijnders was him or Leao man of the match. Like, the moments they had, so good technically in space. And I mean, this is such a City signing. When I look at that double pivot of Rodri and Reijnders, you got the height, you got the athleticism, you got the physicality, you got the ball progression, the technicality. Great double pivot. Great double pivot. And I think, I don't really know why no other big clubs were interested in Reijnders apart from City. But once again, great pickup. 55 million from a broke AC Milan. Maybe they could have gotten it a bit less. I've also read some numbers about 70. Maybe it's 55 plus 15 million. But yeah, good signing for City. They needed more midfielders. You know, I remember when they came to the park with Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, and De Bruyne. That was not midfield. That was a graveyard. Moving in to Estevao to Chelsea. This one once again hurts a little bit because we did have a previous interest in Estevao. And only says a 34 million. It's probably some ridiculous bonuses taking it up to 60 million, because those are the figures I remember I was hearing before. Once again, all these numbers, I just took them from Transfer Market. But yeah, Estevao, probably the best young talent in South America. Masanto second right behind. We saw good glimpses from him in the Club World Cup. Obviously, he's still participating in the Club World Cup. So yeah, I think, once again, this is a great signing. I'm looking more at Estevao. He could have gone to basically any other club. He chose Chelsea. Well, let's see if that's the correct decision. But Estevao, from the comps, from the clips, from wherever I watched him slightly live, incredible talent. Probably better than Vini, Rodrigo, Endrick, Vitor Roque ever was in the Brazilian league. Maybe the closest to name. Not that he's close, but out of those bunch, just what he did in the Brasileiro League, not what he's going to do in Europe. I don't know what he's going to do, but Estevao looks like the real deal. Like, he scored some bangers. He's a great playmaker. Like, this would be a top tier signing for Chelsea FC. And only 34 million. Again, it could be around 60, but great signing. Next up is Dean Huijsen from Bournemouth to Real Madrid. I believe it was his release clause. And yeah, great signing. It's a little bit of a lot of money for someone who's had one top season at Bournemouth. But yeah, no. I've watched Madrid twice this season, Al Hilal game and yesterday the Juventus game, and Dean Huijsen looks very good. He looks very good. The only thing I've said I'm still waiting to see is when he faces a top attacking team like Juventus and Al Hilal, not that. So if he like faces a Barca or like a PSG, I want to see him how he defends in those situations and so on. But apart from that, his ball playing ability needed So crucial for this Real Madrid team. I mean, Xabi Alonso might even think about playing Dean Huijsen as a DM at one point to fix the technical ability issue that Madrid have. But Dean Huijsen, passing, and he's so calm as well. So calm. Defending with the ball, without the ball, is always calm. And I think, once again, this is a great signing for Real Madrid, Dean Huijsen. Centre-back, they needed it. And he's looked very good so far. He obviously also looked very good with the Spanish national team. In the Nations League, we got Matheus Cunha for 75 million to United. And we have to be honest with ourselves. No. Just no. I'm not moved by this signing at all. I've seen Cunha at Atletico Madrid. I've seen Cunha. And yeah, sure, he cooked at Wolves and all of these clubs. But 75 million? I think it was his release clause as well. But once again, this just shows how fucking stupid Manchester United are. The dumbest club I have ever seen. You know, United, since what, 2015, United have spent the most money in the world. They've spent more than City, more than PSG, more than Madrid, more than Barca, more than Bayern on shit signings like this. Cunha for 40 million, good signing. 50 million, we need to think a little bit. 75? Are you kidding me? It's impossible for him to reach those expectations. I mean, I have no clue what the board of Manchester United are doing. They're constantly complaining that they don't have that much money. FFP, Ratcliffe is removing hotels and the players have to buy their own food and everything. And then you're spending 75 million on a relegation battling Wolves 75 million player. I've also seen it with the Brazilian national team. He ain't a 75 million player. You could have gotten so many better players. And I've never understood why Premier League clubs keep shopping in the Premier League where everything is overpriced. I mean, for the first time, we're trying to sign a player from the Premier League in Zabarni, and it's ridiculous. They're asking for like 80 million, which is totally overpriced. United could have gone, I don't know, Serie A. They could have gone for a Lookman. Lookman has 1 year left in his contract. You could have gotten him for 30 million. That's the difference between a stupid club and a dumb club. Stupid and a smart club. Well, good-ish player. I'm gonna call Cunha a goodish player, but 75 million is way too much. And last, we got Trent. Trent, as you can see, it says 10 million right here. That's why it says on Transfermarkt, because Madrid had to pay Liverpool 10 million so that the contract was terminated 15 days earlier so he could play for them for the Club World Cup. He was also signed with like a 30 to 40 million signing on bonus, but it's technically a so-called free transfer. And yeah, I mean, Carvajal is old, got an ACL. When you get a huge injury like that at an old age, you basically cooked. Yes, Carvajal is back. Yes, he may have some good moments and so on, but this was the signing that Madrid had to make. They've been, trying to get Trent for a very long time. Madrid, they basically do illegal stuff because you cannot negotiate or talk with the player if he has more than 6 months left on his contract. And I mean, they've been teaching him Spanish for 3 years now. So, but going into the signing, once again, as I said about Dean Huijsen, the ball playing ability of Trent, the progressive passes, we saw his cross yesterday, very helpful. It will add a lot to that dead right-hand side where they were playing Rodrigo out of position and Valverde having to fill all the positions. Trent will actually do a lot there, especially because Xabi Alonso played the 5 at the back, and Trent as a wing-back, in my opinion, is going to be much better than as a right back, because less defending, closer to goal, holding that width where he can put the balls, the diagonals to the left side where Vini and Mbappe is. Yeah. Good signing here for Real Madrid for Trent. And lastly but not least, we have Wirtz. Wirtz. And I think it's 125, can go up to 150, 25 million with bonuses. But Wirtz is a player that I would have paid this money for. There aren't that many players I would pay the 120. Like Pedri, I would pay 120 for. Vitinha, if we could buy him again, I would pay 120 for him. These are the kind of players I would pay that amount. So, yes, it's a lot of money. I think Wirtz is maybe the 8th, 9th highest transfer of all time, something around that, maybe less, maybe 7th, 6th. But Wirtz is a superb player. I mean, he's a superb player. And I think, especially with Salah getting older as well, soon this Liverpool team is going to be more built around Wirtz as that number 10. And once again, as I said about Arne Slot and Liverpool before, I do believe that the plan is to copy PSG once again and playing Wirtz as the false 9. He's basically going to have the Dembouz role where he can do everything. And that's exactly what he does in the Leverkusen system. They play a 3-5-2 with him in the middle of the diamond, 2 strikers or 2 outlets ahead of him, which could be Salah and Luis Diaz. We obviously saw Liverpool rejected Bayern's offer for Luis Diaz, so he's going to stay. And then you got the 2 fullbacks. So you basically got Wirtz here. You got maybe McAllister, Gravenberch, Soboslai behind him. You got Kerkes and Frimpong running like this. Perfect for Frimpong. That's exactly what he used to do at Leverkusen. And you got Salah and Luis Diaz as well. Great signing. Great signing. Great signing by Liverpool. Great signing. A bit jealous. Wirtz is a top baller. And now, let's do the tier list. The issue with the tier list is what am I going to base it on? And I'm going to strictly base it on the signing. So just money-wise. Just money-wise for the ability. So I'm not going to look into how much can he do for the club, how good, all of that. No, strictly money. Luis Enrique, at least an A. At least an A, I'm going to give Luis Enrique to Inter. I think this is a sensational signing. Let me zoom in one more. Let's go. I think that's a great signing. Are these on? Yeah. And that's the thing, like looking at all the I mean, it's very hard finding a bad transfer, but Cunha, I'm going to put him D. Yeah, just easily the worst signing here. Dilap, I'm going to put a C. Jonathan Tah, even though it's for free, I'm going to put it as C. Leroy Sane. I mean, the guy... Sane could be... Sane... That's the thing, like Galatasaray won the league this year, into the Champions League. I don't know how much he can level them up, apart from having some big moments in the Champions League, which he's never had. So I'm going to put it as C as well. I mean, Cherki got to be S. Cherki S. Especially when you look at the money that they paid for him. That's a steal, man. God damn, how did we not get him? Dean Huysen. We'll see, we'll see. I'm just putting them there. Let's see how it goes. Franco, put a B. Garcia, I'm going to put... Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to put A. Reijnders. A again. Trent. For free as well. I mean, what, like 30 million? Is it S tier? Yeah. Reijnders. Frimpong. Cherki. Wirtz. There we go. Don't want to change anything. Cunha lost, no. Perfect. I mean, just for how expensive. It's weird, man. It's now it's getting weird. Now it's getting weird. It's like I thought it was like 3 million more than Frimpong, but I think I noticed a much better player. Reijnders. Should it be here? No, I'm gonna change it to this. All right. So S tier, Cherki, Trent. Once again, we're strictly looking at their ability and the price tag that they went for. Cherki and Trent. Luis Enrique, Juan, Garcia, and do not look at the ranking from left to right. That does not matter. It's just A, S, B. That's what all matters. The only thing I'm thinking of is... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put Reijnders there. That ends it for me with reacting to the best transfers so far of the summer transfer window. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. If a lot more signings happen, we will make it part 2 of this. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. And as usual, allez, Paris.